Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to 2026. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the 2025 year-end review. Happy New Year, and to celebrate the new year, we're going to be jumping into the first month of the financial plan. So this is going to entail updating what we're forecasting to save for 2026. So let's go. Okay then, so to start, I'm going to proceed with just updating my 2025 budget. So I'll just pop this up on screen. I won't go through this. I'll link to the prior video where I detailed everything that happened in 2025, which explains this final spreadsheet now that we're looking at. In essence, all I do every year is go to move, copy, create a copy, and just roll forward this file for 2026. Go ahead and do that. Right, so really straightforward. We can just clear everything that we've put in for the last 12 months because that's on the prior sheets that we've got. Just delete all of that. And we can delete these budget numbers as well. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so in essence, this is our start point for the year. The first thing we'll need to update is the salary. I believe that everyone in my company got around a 3% pay rise, so I'm just going to put it in as 1.03 for now. That just updates that to 3%. All of this I'll need to update once I get my first pay slip, which is at the end of this month. So for now, I'll just leave this kind of as a provisional 3.8k per month, 3.9 basically. Also to note down here, these fixed costs. Now, a lot of these I need to check and see what they've changed to. Again, a lot of these prices will come in the next couple of months for inflation and what they want to update them to. I know for a fact that my Virgin Media is now £51 per month. Council tax, that will drop to nil actually for the next 3 months, which is great. I'll probably just lump that into my overpayment. And I think everything else has remained relatively the same. Like I said, a lot of these will probably go up in the next couple of months, so I'll update those because I'm going to start doing these monthly anyway at that point. Also, I wanted to change this up, so where I've got variable costs, I've got food, fuel and energy. Now, what I have been doing, or what me and my wife have been doing, is we just put everything on a credit card and then we split it 50-50 at the end of the month. So rather than having what I spend on each of these categories, because we kind of don't really track it anymore that much, we just split the credit card and make sure that we're monitoring what we spend on the credit card. So I might change this in the next couple of months to say credit card, but for now I'll just leave it as is, so you know roughly what we're spending and what we're splitting 50-50. And again, all of this, like the net worth tracker, will need to be updated, but I'll do that in a coming episode because this was only updated in December. So the first and main thing we need to do is start with updating our beginning balance of savings. So effectively this needs to just equal whatever we saved at the end here. Okay, perfect. So what are we planning to do? Let's have a quick look. So I know that I got a bonus from work. It was £500. So after tax, let's just say, I mean, I'm in the 40% bucket, so £500, I'm probably going to take like, what, £280, £300 of that maybe, after tax and national insurance. So let's just say £300 for argument's sake. And I'll probably try and allocate that all to savings as well. Let me just clear out some of these explanations. And what else are we going to do? So we know that we can save roughly, apparently £1,600 per month. That's what this budget is saying. I doubt that. So let's go in as a budget. And why don't we say, because realistically, looking back at 2025, I aimed to do £1,500 per month and I never really got to that. So given that we're going to have to be spending stuff on the house, which I'll come on to in a minute, let's just say I'm going to budget £1,000 and actually try and retain that into savings over the year. There we go. So my budget for 2026 is going to be to save, and not only save, but actually save and retain £1,000 per month at least into my just savings, trading 2 and 2, whatever account ISA, and I want to end the year with £24,000 in savings, liquid, which would be amazing. I mean, it would be a damn sight better than 2025. To do that, though, we need to account for some expenses that are definitely going to go out this year. So the main one being Europe house. Now, 8.5 grand between me and my wife, so that is £17,000 to potentially finish the house. We're planning to do a trip over there soon, so we can actually fully cost out, and I'll do another video on that, cost out exactly how much we've got left to spend on the house. At the moment, I believe they have done first fit electrics, first fit plumbing, plastered inside, so we need to get the exterior wall finished. The final front door we need to order and get that installed. So there's going to be a couple of chunky numbers that are going to come out, and then not to mention we need to furnish the house and get flooring down, paint it, etc, etc. So I don't think we're going to finish it this year, but I want it to be, or we want it to be, livable by the end, or ideally the middle of this year. So to do that, £8,500 from my side I think is reasonable, and that then gives us 17 grand this year to spend on the house. And then going into 27, we might be saving a little bit more, to get like beds and sofas, etc, etc. But as long as the shell and the exterior security, all the bits that we basically can't do ourselves, as long as that's done, I'll be happy with that as a year-end target. So with that being said, we'll just put that into the EU visits bucket. So let's just say we went at the end of March. I might do -2 here, -2 here, -2 here. That doesn't really get us to 8.5 grand. Let's just say it's something like that. It's around 8 grand that we're going to go out by. So that's definitely going to happen. Motorcycle, I'm going to move this down on the wish list. It's still going to be on there, but I think realistically it's not going to be a 2026 item. We do have a van here in the UK, and the plan has always been to fill that with everything that we've got to take to Bulgaria. So all of our maybe like sentimental items we want to keep in the house, and kind of bits that don't really fit into a suitcase or are difficult to put into a suitcase that we've been gifted that we thought we'll save for Bulgaria. So with that being said, we might need to look at buying a car either here or there. So let's just put a vehicle, and let's just say we're going to budget, I don't know, 5 grand for that. That is pretty much what I spend on cars and stuff now. I do like cars, really love cars, but as a mode, just for a mode of transport, pragmatically, that's where you're able to save a lot of money, is by just driving a terrible car. So 5 grand's a good number. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's a good start point. And like I said, the reason being is my budget amount is just the net cash into the account, and the actuals will then track ins and outs over the year. So for example, here, if I put 1,600 plus the bonus, and there are no negatives in the month, then we've hit the target there. That is going to be a good thing. And then let's say I did that for the next couple of months, net minus 400 there. So actually, I think this works out quite well. I think we're on track. Yeah. Okay. So sorry, this has been a bit of. I'm still figuring out how exactly to use this spreadsheet as effectively as possible. Let me delete that because I haven't actually saved that this month yet. Let's not lie to ourselves. So at the moment, I know that is roughly where we're going to end up. Like I said, every time I get paid, I'm going to be updating this sheet every month, and I'll be putting out a video every month just to track this through, and if you want to follow along and see where you get to. And like I said, hopefully this makes sense, and that this budget amount is just the net of income and all the expenses. We put that small bonus there. But yes, I think that's it for now. Hopefully we can start off 2026 strong. We did start off 2025 quite strong if I look. Yeah, we just ended up doing a lot. So like I said, we got married and we did quite a big chunk on the house, and we got a new boiler. So enjoying the heat. But I think that's really all I can say for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for the support on the channel, and I will be back soon with some more Bulgaria content. I've got 2 videos edited, and like I said, we're going over shortly to film a big update video of where the house is now, because we haven't actually been there for over half a year now, which is crazy. Life has been lifing, I can tell you that much. So thank you all for watching. See you on the next one. Bye bye.